Hey guys. So a few weeks ago, I showed you a planner that I had created for a trip that I was taking, and I'll link that video below. It was a two-part video for a travel journal that I made. And so this, oh, whoops, I didn't expect that to happen, is going to be a little walkthrough of that journal now that it's complete and filled out after my trip. So what I did was I took just a regular composition book, just like this, cut it down to size. I had this cover already that I plan to use. I don't remember where I got it. I want to say I probably got it off of Amazon. These little charms I bought separately. I think Michaels has these. And I unknotted the string. You can see where I cut it. And I added the charms and then I reknotted it. So anyway, that's the cover. And so it's just a regular composition book. I didn't use all of the pages. And each page I did take 2 pages and glue them together. So I really, could have used up the whole book, but I didn't want to print out every single picture that I took. I did use my HP Sprocket. Let me grab that real quick. Oh, well, I don't have it on me. I think I must have left it up in my bedroom. To print out the pictures. It's a very basic one. I've had it for about 5 years. It works great. The pictures that it prints out are 2x3. And so those are the pictures that are printed in here. But anyway, this is just scrapbook paper that I got in a kit. And the back page is the same. Always got to get a Ron John sticker from the surf shop. And the inner cover, again, scrapbook paper, and then just a crap ton of stickers. I probably won't even be able to link all of the stickers, but just know that most of them were either from Hobby Lobby or Michaels. And I believe most of them can still be found there. So, oh, and Dollar Tree. I do use a lot of Dollar Tree stickers. This was the first day on the ship. Right as soon as I got on, I found a nice sunny spot to sit and I took a picture. And most of my decorating is going to be stickers. There's a few other things. Some scrapbook paper, but I genuinely like to use mostly ephemera from my trip, which you'll see. So day one, this is in the airport. My daughter dropped me off and I immediately realized I forgot my BiPAP machine, so I had to call her, and thankfully it was in her car. She had to run back and give it to me. And I decided to fly first class this trip, so got my little champagne on the plane. This was sitting in the bar at O'Hare, drinking my first beer of the day. I don't know if you know this about me, but I do enjoy a drink occasionally. Looking at this, you would think I was an alcoholic, but really I only drink during fish fries and on a cruise, really. So anyway, some of the stickers you can see are dimensional. They do add quite a bit of bulk, but I like that. So that is something that I enjoy about being able to just do what I want. These alphabet stickers did not stick. They're from Dollar Tree, so a lot of them you'll see, maybe you won't be able to see it. I've literally just scotch taped over some of them to get them to stick in my planner. These are puffy stickers. Anyway, so this is day 2. I made this little guy. It's just a paper clip with cardstock and a little sticker, or a little, we call these die cuts on there. And this is my rental car agreement. When you're doing a travel planner, even your rental car agreement can be interesting. These, again, stickers, my, not my boarding pass, my luggage tag from my cruise. When you get there, I don't know if many of you have been on a cruise, but you can leave your baggage outside the ship and they will load it for you and bring it to your room later in the day. So you're not having to haul your luggage around, because what they do is they unload passengers until about 9 o'clock in the morning, and then within like 2 hours they're already reloading a new group of passengers. So the turnover is really quick. So it's a lot easier if you check your baggage and just let them handle it, getting on and off the ship. But because they're switching over the rooms, they don't get a chance to clean them right away, so you're not able to get to your room until much later in the day. So it's nice to be able to check your bags. My parking permit, this was for the hotel I stayed in the night before. The hotel was interesting. The outside looked very old, and then you walked in the room and it was like walking into a brand spanking new room. So hopefully someday they'll get the outside looking as nice as the inside. Again, this is the first day, so I had to, of course, take a picture of my feet, because that's what you do. You go on a beach and you take a picture of your feet in the water. But this was actually on the balcony from my my stateroom. Again, on the ship, these are just views of my cabin, which I thought was pretty nice. This, I really like this. It has actual little bits of rope on it. And again, like this one, I'm pretty sure that this came from the kit that I got this from. So a lot of the elements in here are just stickers that I got, you know, from kits and books from Hobby Lobby and Michaels. Okay, so this is still day one, and the ship that I usually go on is the Mardi Gras from Carnival, and they have these edible straws that are basically made of like a hard sucrose substance, and they come in these little straw things, so I kept one of those. And then these are just a few of the drinks I had. I wrote a little bit about the Mardi Gras itself. This is kind of a plasticky / paper sticker, so there's some parts of it that are clear, which I thought was kind of cool. This is the view of the sunset from my cabin. This is the stateroom attendant. When you get on the cruise, your stateroom attendant is the one that comes and cleans your room every day. They're extremely friendly. Everyone has a card with their picture on it, so you know who's going in and out of your room and why. And I loved him. He was great. And then you get a little envelope that has your ship and sail and sign card, sorry. And I kept it. I gotta figure out how to get this envelope open. So that's in here. Oh! So it comes, it's got all your numbers on it, and don't worry, I don't think anyone's gonna go steal a cruise in my name. So I'm not too worried about showing you that, but it comes in this cute little envelope, and then any tickets that you've pre-purchased also come in this envelope, and it's just outside your little stateroom door. And then I added some stickers, and then this is just a little safety pin with some beads on it. These little mermaid scales are just little resin things that I glued on. I really like the way they turned out and the colors. And then over here is my boarding pass. So this is what you get, what gets you on the ship. And I put it in, I went to my room, and in the afternoon, I set my boarding pass on the dresser, I set my drink down, and then I immediately knocked it over. So it's kind of messed up. But this is another little paper clip, just with some ribbon on it, or some mesh, that I thought kind of went along with the theme of mermaids and whatnot. Now let's see if I can get it back on here. And then just some cute little mermaid stickers. These are actually part of a larger sheet of cardstock, and I just fussy cut around them and stuck them on. I guess the mermaid ones aren't stickers. And then over here, so this is day 3, so our first day at sea. And I just have some cute little elements that I got at Dollar Tree. These little wooden shapes. They have a ton of these, all different shapes and sizes. These, I don't know if you can see, these are little brads that I stuck through the paper, and then just adhered the paper to this. I made a pocket out of cardstock, and I just washi taped it to the edge of the sheet. This is a little sheet you get every day on the cruise, and it tells you what's going on that day, what times things are happening, what part of the ship, what food is open, etc. And I just stuck a little tag on here with another safety pin with some beads and some charms. But it's always kind of fun to go back and look and be like, oh yeah, I remember I did that thing on the ship, you know. Picture of the deck. And then, of course, every day on your cruise, they fold a towel into a little animal and leave it on your bed. They actually also have a class on one of the decks that shows you how to make those, which I thought it was kind of fun. This day I went and I had a massage, and the oil that they used was so greasy that I got back to my room. My hair was all slicked back, and I had like 25 minutes to get ready to go to my dinner reservation at the Bonsai teppanyaki restaurant. And that's where there's a big grill and they make the food in front of you. But this was the container for my chopsticks. I stuck that in there. But I had to put in a picture of my greasy hair. This was day 4. So our first day in port at Grand Turk. This is just a sticker. It had a bunch of little pages inside, but it made it really thick. So I opened it up and I just ripped the pages out, and then I glued it shut and stuck it on there. This, again, is the day that you have an excursion. They put this little envelope on your door the night before. And then this is just a little card. I went into one of the shops in Grand Turk, and they were selling little turtles that you could purchase. And this was one that I purchased on a different island, but it was the same company. And every time you would buy one, it would donate money to save a turtle. And then I just have this little, on the cruise, this day was actually, I almost said 4th of July. It was St. Patrick's Day, so I wanted to honor that by putting a little 4-leaf clover clip there to hold my ticket on. A lot of times I'll put little pullouts. I'll put little tabbies or something on them so I remember that there's something inside there. So that's, why I have a lot of little tabbies. But I'm usually not, I don't use those a lot in my regular just day-to-day journaling. But anyway, so Grand Turk has this big lighthouse. I took a couple pictures of the lighthouse. And then every day when you go to port, they give you this little booklet, and it has information about the port, the shops, where you can eat. There's a little map of the port area, and then just some information about the island or the destination. So of course, I had to take a picture of me with the ocean. I just love the ocean. Turks and Caicos. This was a mosaic that I found on a wall somewhere, so I took a picture. And then of course another Ron Jon sticker. I just love the stickers that Ron Jon has, so I don't really ever buy anything there but stickers. These are little foam flip-flops, which I love. This was day 5, and this was at Amber Cove in the Dominican Republic, so that's where I actually got this little turtle. It says DR on it, and it just sits on my desk when I'm journaling. I'm just sitting right here. Puerto Plata is the name of a town that's close to the port, so and Amber Cove, the Dominican Republic, the Bahamas in general, there's a lot of pirate activity in that area back in the day, so there's usually a lot of pirate stuff. And I dig pirates. I think they're kind of cool. The history of them, at least, not the actual pirates themselves, I guess. This is a sticker, another sticker that I bought in a store. Some more fun facts. The views were awesome. The downside of the little sprocket printer is you can never get the coloring right, but another one of those little wooden bits that you get at Dollar Tree. Later in the day, this is the cafe that I ate lunch at in my view. There were a bunch of little kitty cats running around, so I wrote about that. This is my little animal for the day. I think it's a bunny. Another little wooden piece. And I like to just, this is just gems and a little button, and it's kind of fun. I like to fill in my journal first and then go back and add extra elements to it when I have space. So like this page was just the stickers and the sheet, and then I went back later when I was completely done and I started adding things in empty spots. And then They did actually, one of the little information bits that I got on this day's fun facts was this little recipe for rum punch. So I stuck that in there. Who knows? I might make it someday. Even though I hate rum, it doesn't taste like it. So there you go. And then day 6 was a sea day. So on those days, you don't go into a port. You just stay on the ship all day while they sail in between. And so I did a couple of trivia contests. I did terribly. The Harry Potter trivia, I did okay. Game of Thrones was terrible. I missed like half of them, even though I've watched the entire series like twice now, I think. And then this is just scrapbook paper with stickers, and this washi tape I have had literally forever. I've been trying to use it up for so long, it hardly even sticks in my book anymore. This is lace, and it comes in a roll. It's not real lace. I should take that back, I should say. It's lace tape. Gosh, let me find one that's open. I really like to use these. I don't think I'm going to find one that's open. But what it is it's literally just like a roll of ribbon. It's like adhesive ribbon almost. But this one's kind of a plasticky feel. But I also have some that are glittery, that don't feel quite as plasticky. It's kind of hard to see in that. You'll see other samples of it here. But it comes in all different colors. Like I have red, orange, gold. So I'm getting in the screen here. I've got like hot pink, black. I just order it. I think I got this from Temu. Don't come at me, bro. You got to get your art supplies where you can. And then same with this. This is just one big sticker, and it just comes in a sheet, but I really liked the ocean theme of it. This was a ship. This ship right here is actually this one. So this is the picture, the original picture I took, and this was when I zoomed way in on it. And so look at how much detail you can get. All the lights, that's just another Carnival ship, but look at it way off in the distance from my patio or deck or whatever you want to call it. And then I can't even put into words the amazing sunsets and the moon on the water. It's just amazing. Anyway, this was Nassau, day 7. Nassau was really cool. They have redone their entire port area, and so it was nice to, I've been there once before, but it's been about 7 years, so it was nice to see a new, see it kind of through new eyes, I guess, with the new port. I've got some more fun facts here, some things you can look at while you're in Nassau, a couple stickers. Excuse me. I really like this sticker. It's kind of like paper down here, and then it's got the glitter at the top, and then it also came with these little hard bubbles, which I thought was kind of cool. Again, really old washi tape. The Bahamian flag. These are some pictures of the cafe I ate lunch at. This is a straw market. They have this whole big building, and it's just all people selling trinkets and, you know, whatever you call it, souvenirs. But originally, when it first was built, it was meant for straw makers who would come in and make baskets and things, hats and bags and whatever out of straw and sell them out of there. But now, even though you can still find some things that are handmade, most of it is just souvenir stuff. This is a postcard that I got that just has a little island information. More of those little mermaid scales, but in gold this time. So they had a museum there called the Museum of Junkanoo. And Junkanoo, I actually went online and copied and pasted this and printed it out. Junkanoo is a festival, most people based on the leader of the revolution called John Canoe, who went out all throughout the West Indies and the Bahamas trying to help free slaves. And so they have now every year, they would get days off at Christmas during the Christmas season, and they would celebrate by singing and dancing in colorful masks, etc. And so now that has evolved into a big parade that they have once a year. And so it's very difficult to see by just looking at these pictures, but this is a costume. So there's the person's head, with a headdress on, and then there's like a chest piece, and then these wings, and they make everything out of things like paper. Like this is all natural sponge found in the ocean. These are all kind of like piñata looking, the kind of stringer paper that they use, paper mache. And now like this was a float. It's kind of hard to tell what it is, but there's a boat in the middle with fish kind of jumping off the sides. It was a really amazing museum, but you can only take pictures in the lobby. And so these pictures that are on paper, I actually printed these out online and put them in here because I couldn't take any pictures in the museum. This is just a little piece of lace that I had left over from I don't even know what. These are just little, you can buy these little packets of paper stickers from like Michael's, and then I stuck them with the little gems inside. And then this was the wristband that you get when you pay to get in, so I just cut the ends off and put that on there. This was a Caribbean beer that I tried that was brewed locally on the island, and so I tore the label off the bottle and stuck that in there, and then, you know, more washi tape. So there's a really cool pirate museum, so I went, of course, because, again, I love pirates, and they had like a ship that you could go in that's the actual size of the ship, but you could go in and kind of see how they may have divided it up. Not the actual size, I should say, slightly smaller, but pretty close. This is just an old map of the area that someone had drawn. It was hanging on the wall. This was a little charm. It says, "Do what you love." And then I just took a bunch of pictures of different things. This is just old washi tape. This sticker comes from a book. Let's see, I think I have it right here. I use these books all the time, these antiquarian books. I've gotten mine from Target. You can get them from Amazon. But they're literally just a giant book full of all different kinds of stickers. This one has alphabet letters and then things that start with that alphabet. And so there's a few pages that had P, and then there were some pirate stickers. Let's see, but I love this book. I have like 3 different versions. One is Bibliophilia. One is just like the main first one that they did. One is like, I don't remember what the third one is. Anyway, they're really cool. So if you can get a hold of one, I highly recommend it. But that's where some of these stickers came from. And then in the museum, I took a few more stickers or pictures. This is a sticker from the antiquarian book. So is this one. This is a picture that I took and then I enlarged it because the small picture didn't do it justice. But this was kind of like a shadow box where it wasn't just a picture on the wall. It was actually a room, and it was decorated to look like what it might be if if a pirate was actually marooned on an island. And so that was really cool to see. So I had to enlarge that a little bit. And then here we are, day 8, the last day of the cruise. I basically just chilled all day and packed. And then, excuse me, I'm so sorry about my yawning. It's just a thing I do. I apologize. I had a chef's table experience where you go, and of course I had to spill food on it. This is the menu, and they prepare each course right in front of you. Well, they don't prepare each one in front of you, but they plate it in front of you. And each course, they explain what it is, how it's made. And it was really interesting. They give you a recipe for this cake that they make on the ship. You get little place cards. And then I took a picture, of course, of each course. Each course was usually just 1 or 2 bites of something delicious. And so I'm not going to go through all of them, but I did take a picture of each of the courses. And then this is a picture of me, but behind me you can see the table where they prepare all of the plates. I did a chef's table another time a few years ago, and the menu was completely different this time, so I was excited to try some new things. and more. There was like 12 courses, I think. And then on the last day, the ship's attendant, the steward, gives you a little card just to kind of give you some information. So then, debarkation day, you get up first thing in the morning. The night before, usually you put your big luggage outside your room, and they take it and they unload it first thing in the morning, so it's waiting for you when you get off. Some people choose to just take their luggage with them, but I didn't want to have to sit camped out with a bunch of suitcases, so I chose to have mine unloaded the night before. So this was my shuttle receipt from the port to the airport. These are the little tags that you put on your suitcase. And then this is just describing my wait in the airport after. This is something that's actually on your counter when you first walk in your room, and it's all the information about services on the ship and health information, code of conduct, etc. And so I just stuck that in as a reminder of the rules, I guess. And now, after the end of the trip, I went back and I put in a few other extra things. I blew up a few pictures, so this is just a bigger picture of one of the dawn mornings. This was my luggage tag. This is a blow up of this picture back here that's too small to see anything. See if I can find it now. It's a blow up of this picture, so it's just a bigger version. But I wanted to try to be able to see the detail a little more closely. So I just blew it up and printed it off on my computer. And then this was more information. On the pirate ship at the museum, every so often they would have a little plaque that described different things. And so, like, for instance, the Pirate Code of Conduct, conditions at sea, some of that kind of stuff. So I added those in there, along with more stickers. I did a little excursion on the Turks, on Grand Turk, of painting. So this was before the empty canvas, and then this was the painting after, although it flipped when I printed it, so my initials are backwards. But that was really fun. I enjoyed it, and these are just some cool stickers. I just really love flowers. And then this is a postcard that I actually sent from Nassau while I was there, and it got here about 4 weeks later. And I sent a second one that I still have not received yet. So we're going on about 6 weeks after my trip, and it still isn't here yet. So we'll see if that eventually shows up. And I was kind of disappointed because as it went through the sorting machine, it smudged some of the picture. But I don't know. It was cool to get it. So we'll see if the other one ever actually shows up. And then this is just all extra space at the back, and then back cover. And I was afraid that it would end up looking like this, but it actually has stayed fairly flat. I think it helps that a lot of when I would glue stuff in, I tried to move in a little bit from the end. I tried not to put too much stuff right up against the seams, and I think that helped it stay a little flatter. I've had other books that have just straight up been a triangle. And I think keeping it in this cover has helped as well to kind of help it hold its shape. But I hope you enjoyed this video. And literally, it's just stickers. I mean, a majority of what's in here is just stickers and stuff from my trip. So it's not a hard thing to travel journal. It's not a hard thing to do any kind of journaling. You just grab a notebook and start sticking stuff in it, and then you write a little bit about it, or you don't even have to do that. But I hope that seeing the process from beginning to end will kind of inspire some people to make more of a record of their trips and their travels. And having pictures is one thing, but then remembering some of the extra stuff, like how much did it cost to get from the port to the ship, or, just things like that can be another important part of travel journaling that I think people sometimes forget. And there you go. Anyway, my conclusions on these videos are always a little bit on the lame side, so I apologize, but I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time.